Am I the a-hole for telling my wife she's not entitled to my gambling winnings and to find a side hustle if she wants more spending money for herself? My wife, 32F, and I, 33M, have been together for 5 years, married for 3. I make $150,000 and my wife makes $50,000. We are not super rich for the city we live in, but we are able to lead a comfortable lifestyle well within our means. Since we don't have kids yet, we are able to spend more on ourselves and each of us gets $500 of fun money every month to do with as we please. My wife likes to use her money to buy clothes for herself or go out for brunches with her girlfriends. My hobbies are all over the place. I do something for a while but then bored of it quickly, so I stop. I need something that gives me a thrill so that I get that rush of dopamine. So, I decided to pick up gambling. There's a casino about 20 minutes on foot from where we live, so every Saturday I go there to gamble $100. I only take the $100 and leave my wallet at home so that I'm not tempted to spend any of our joint money in case I lose. For the most part, I break even or lose some money. My wife hates that I gamble because she thinks I'll go down a destructive path, but I honestly love it and do it anyway because that's what makes me happy, much to her annoyance. Anyway, a couple of weeks ago I got lucky and ended up making $1,000. I was obviously super delighted since I never won this much before in my life. I decided to buy a PS5 and a few games since I never owned a gaming console. When my wife found out I bought all this stuff, she asked me how I was able to spend so much since all of it cost around $700 to $800. I told her about my winnings. She got upset and said I should have given half of it to her. I told her I got this money from my share of the fun money, so it's my choice to do what I want with it. She said only the original $500 is mine. The $1,000 is an income and should be shared between us. I disagreed because I don't claim 50% of her possessions when she goes out shopping. She called me selfish for only thinking about myself. She wants to go on a girls' trip and this extra money would have helped her afford it. I told her what I do with my money is my business, and if she wants more spending money, she can figure out a side hustle instead of using me like an ATM. She complained about me to her friends and they're all calling me a financial abuser for stealing what rightfully belongs to her. I think they're all being entitled assholes, but I would appreciate some unbiased perspective into my situation. Am I the a-hole for getting upset and hurt at my boyfriend for asking me to give a little more after his parents complain that I'm a freeloader whenever I come over their home? A little backstory. I've been dating my boyfriend for about a year. He does live at home with both of his parents. We are both in our early 30s, and it is a bit uncomfortable with dating since he lives at home, but financially he's saving a lot of money and with today's market, it makes sense. However, the past few months I've been coming over 2 to 3 times a week to his parents' house around dinner time and to sleep over. Every night, my boyfriend's mother makes dinner for everybody. She can get kind of cranky and irritable, so we all just try to give her her own space in the kitchen. But whenever she asks for my help, I always give her whatever assistance she may need. I also do whatever tasks she wants around the house, including sweeping/cleaning the floors, cleaning up the kitchen and the dishes after dinner, buying things outside of the home that she may need/asks for, pick up her vegetable/fruit coop at the local farm when she's out of town. Over Thanksgiving Day weekend, my boyfriend asked his parents if I could sleep over Saturday night. His parents stated they didn't want me to sleep over that night, so I did get kind of sad, but I went home and he slept over my place that night. But after I left that night, and before my BF came to my place, they got in a heated fight about it all. His mom stated, she shows up right at dinner and we feel like she's freeloading. She doesn't offer to help out or help out while I'm cooking. She doesn't help prepare the food with me. While his dad said, I don't like having her here because it feels like I can't be comfortable when she's around. My boyfriend said he did defend me during this argument with his parents. He said that he listed off things of how I helped her in past instances, and gave examples of how I always clean up the kitchen, and I always do everything she asks of me. But what hurt my feelings is that my BF wants me to give a little bit more and help out more just so she shuts up about it. But I find that insulting BC I've done nothing wrong. Am I the a-hole for locking up my good liquor and only having store brand for my family? I don't care if you call me a snob. I enjoy my drinks and I can afford to get myself a good bottle every now and then. When we host at our house I have learned not to leave out the good stuff. There is literally no point. My family, my wife's family, our friends, it doesn't really matter. If they aren't going to appreciate what they are drinking, then I feel no reason to waste it on them. I buy huge bottles of whatever from Costco. They can have all the mixed drinks they want. My wife says I look like an asshole because I won't share. I told her that I would share if her brother could do 2 things. Figure out which bourbon was $20 and which was $1,200. And then just sip and enjoy it without slamming it back like a shot or mixing it with ginger ale. He didn't pass. AITA for telling my future Dill not to do it again instead of saying I forgive you. My eldest is going to get married soon, and I have a beautiful wedding dress that I have promised my daughter that she can wear. It's basically a beaded ball gown. I have issues with my future Dill, Nothing major, but she has spread words I didn't say. I'm only 44. At the beginning I thought she was just misunderstand what I was saying, or I did say something that made her mad, so I started to only interact with her through texts or when other people are around. I haven't had to use any of my messages until now. She tried to call me earlier this week and I told her I was busy and to text it. I am glad I did. She wanted to use my wedding dress and do alterations to it. I told her no, since I promised my daughter that it is hers. The next day I got a ton of texts from family members about me not being welcoming and telling her that she isn't my kid. I got so many that I just screenshot the texts and sent it to all the family. Whole family was upset she lied to them. I got on a FaceTime call with my son and her. My daughter was in the room during this. She gave an apology and I told her not to do it again. Now my son and her are pissed that I didn't say I forgive you. Am I the a-hole for making it clear that if he keeps the grandkids away then he will not be getting an inheritance? I will try to keep this short. My son and his wife home needed repairs. Before living together we had a good relationship. The problem came when his wife wouldn't follow the home rules. They are pretty simple, like clean up after yourself, don't be loud at night, and the big one was no drinking in the home. No alcohol in the home. We made this really clear and my son knows his mother has trauma related to alcohol. We informed Dill in general terms also. The first few months seemed fine and it turned for the worse when the weather got cold. We couldn't prove it at the time but we were sure they were drinking. It came to head when cleaning my wife found wine in the attic. She was pissed and poured it out. Apparently it was a $300 bottle and it caused a huge fight between her and Dill. We let them stay until the renovations were done and they have been out 2 weeks ago. Relationship has been tense and I figured we just need time apart. My son met up with me and told us we can't see our grandkids anymore. That the incident made him rethink our relationship. I told him that was bullshit, that he knew the one big rule in the home, cause stress to his mother, my wife. He told me it was final and I told him if he goes through with this he will be out of the will. This started another argument and he is mad at me.